Hey everyone, this is Zealous here, reminding you about the March of War. This is an Armored Core Verdict Day World Mode event for PlayStation 3 players, going strong for the entire month of March. Here's the breakdown. For starters, register your team at ArmoredCoreLegacy.com. During the month of March, if your registered team battles alongside an ACL Merc and wins, or defeats an enemy team containing an ACL Merc, you'll gain a point. No points are deducted for losses, and your team can sign up anytime before the final week of March. At the end of the month, the team with the most points will receive a custom emblem, as well as 5 PSN store cards. Keep your bookmarks locked on ArmoredCoreLegacy.com to catch all the details and updates regarding this event. See you on the battlefield, and have a great war.
You got Tierson here, and as usual, Zealous.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
All right, so I'm gonna get the plugs out of the way right now. If you're listening to us, then most likely you are already doing it on the ravensvoice.com. Don't forget to go over to ArmoredCoreLegacy.com, the most active forums for the Armored Core community, and you can email us at ravensvoiceacl@gmail.com.
That's the one.
That's it. This week, we're gonna have a bit of a short show. And I think we've gone over plenty of times to make up for it. So, but yeah, a bit of a short show this week. We weren't able to get everything together for the show that we wanted to do, so we're just gonna do a bit of a preview on what is going to be starting this weekend. What most of you will probably be listening to maybe while you're getting ready this weekend. The March of War does start on Saturday, March 1st.
Yeah, here it is. This is the event that we've talked about. We've done, a few plugs for, throughout our various discussions during the last few weeks and everything. But it's right in the cusp here. And the cool part is, if you haven't heard, it is going on all month. Now, all during the month of March. Now, the fun part about this is, if you remember the War for November, this is an event that is very much in the spirit of that. It echoes
pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much the same thing. If you want, well, hey, I mean, it could be those rebranded Frosted Flakes. Call it that. When you have like the different
rebranded
vibes.
Frosted Flakes.
I don't know.
I was thinking more of War for November being the March of War being War for November's little sister.
Something like that. If you want to make a familiar relation, that works.
Well, I think in a lot of ways too, because we definitely learned some things from the March of War, for War for November. We definitely learned a few things from there. So kind of like parents, they have the first kid and they fuck that one all up, and so when they have their second kid, they learn some things. So that one's going to be a little bit better, hopefully. Or maybe they didn't learn anything at all, and then you've got two of them that are going to be in prison.
So here you have it. It's a team event, obviously, and a little addendum we've had this time, or just some clarification as well about the the use of non-team. If you really want to call them non-team, let's face it, they are part of your team. If you use UNACs, right? There is room to use those if you do have UNACs. You're not completely excluded from it. If you want to include a couple of those, you are still free to do runs. We have a list, again, of those who will be mercs, or qualified mercs that you can catch for points, as well as teams that have signed up. I definitely see some more teams that have signed up since last time we discussed this. That's great.
I think it's about on par to where it was when War for November started. And then we still had several teams sign up after it started.
Yeah. So that's still there. Again, if you're looking for signups, you can sign up all the way up until, I believe, right before the last week of March.
Which might statistically be possible to gain enough points to win. We really have no fucking clue.
But some of the names we got, that's some fun stuff.
Would be awesome to see you try.
You should go for it. There's Raven Republic. We got Enders, Clan Steelwolf, Rivadian. Those of you who visited forums will probably have seen some of these teams around. And then the others you've probably seen via YouTube pages. So that's a fun part of it. That's exciting. To see those names starting to register for it, and we'll see how this turns out. Kicking right up this Saturday. I think it's easy to forget that this month only has 28 days in it.
Holy shit! No, I didn't think Raven Republic was still actually a team.
They're coming.
I haven't
See
seen
that?
them in months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was quiet there for a second. I'm like, I gotta go see this. Yeah, there it is. Good for you guys. That's awesome.
So, by the way, I've always loved the Raven Republic emblem props. That's always been a cool design, and at least the forums and the site are still up. I don't know how many people visit. If
Oh yeah, no, the forums are huge. Like
yeah,
I get
yeah.
lost in there like a little kid in a mall. I was like, I'm looking for information on events or maybe some stuff that's going on, and all of a sudden I'm looking at people selling Armored Core parts in what I don't know, in some foreign currency, and I feel like maybe I'm on some foreign section of the site or something. I don't know.
Well, hey, as long as you're not making that currency Bitcoin, I don't know if you kept up with the latest news. The one of the main big hubs for Bitcoin had a terrible issue, an incident recently. So,
All my investments are in Bitcoin. What are you talking about?
oh well, hey, I mean, that's where you can put your portfolio.
I've put all my investments in Chrome, and that has worked out pretty well for the most part.
Pretty safe deal. Well, I say till post Great Destruction. Then you can go
Oh
from there
man,
with it.
no,
But
they're gonna do really good when the destruction happens. That's
still part of it. Um, if anyone's also still looking for clarification on other small little rule points, again, there's a Facebook link. There's a Facebook page for this event. Also, I know there was a little bit of confusion on the thread. Some people were asking, let me make sure we've got the conditions exactly how we score, how we have points. We're going to have a promo for this event up at the start of our podcast, just to
yeah,
kind of
but
help
it's not gonna tell
clarify.
you anything useful.
Oh, no, I mean it's going to be propaganda. Just
It's
so
all
you have a heads up.
propaganda. In fact, I tried selling stuff in it. I mean, they give you a link to my eBay page and everything.
But we'll help rebuff for that. But yeah, regarding the win, the essential thing you're looking for here is to have a registered merc on your team. And if you win with a registered merc on your team, or if you defeat a team with a registered merc on it, you gain a point. There are no losses, or there were no points deducted for losses. Of course, there's going to be losses. Yeah, it has to happen.
Oh,
There's
I have every intention of making every team that hires me lose.
So if you want to end up, even, you want to be even, Steven, if you don't want to gain, Tierson's here. Hire him.
That's right. That's right. That's
So,
right. So I know sometimes enders like to show off a little bit by making themselves lose and stuff and like giving themselves horrible conditions for winning. Just hire me. Just hire me. I'll do all the shenanigans you need. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But
right.
or
Fun.
am I?
Or that's the question. The other thing here about the as far as prizes now, if I recall before, we had PSN store cards. We also had I think small versions of the model kits available.
Are those being offered this time?
Not this time. We do have the PSN store cards, but we're also doing the custom emblem for this
PSN
one.
bucks.
So
And yes, the custom emblem, made by me.
there you go.
I made the promo for this this event, so I'll be making the emblem as well. So I hope you guys like it. If you don't, too bad. But I hope you do.
I think this is something harkening back to events past. I always wish that, especially in some of the old competitive tournaments, that you could also walk away with an emblem of some sort digitally. Sometimes you were given like there was like a small trophy or something you were given there, or just some kind of token as of the day. But that always would have been a very cool thing to sport
Token?
around in your AC. Yeah,
Do
or,
you mean like a wood carved token? The wooden carved token made out of made to look like a Kurosawa or something.
if you had the right artisan on it, that'd be pretty dope. But
If you don't know what I'm talking about, consider yourself lucky. Because that is thankfully something that actually didn't come to fruition. But there was actually somebody. I'm not gonna name names. I don't want to start any shit. But there was actually somebody who was going to carve out little wooden emblems and like Kurosawas and stuff and give those away for winnings for an event. And that
didn't come to be.
no, and that's one of those things that was good.
So,
This show is the real. I'm sorry, I'm in a saucy mood tonight. Saucier than normal. So, this is And have fun with this one, guys.
very much so.
Okay, I'm looking at the War for November section of the forums, and I cannot find I mean, I know Enders won, but I know it
Hmm.
was close. and I'm trying to find where the other teams were, especially the ones that are returning for March of War, and I can't find this anywhere.
Yeah, as far as in the section where we had the official scoring and the official points, the last I had checked, they were still preserved in that archive for the War for November, but that very well could have changed. Now, it wasn't, unfortunately, I don't think it was arranged where things were all posted in the initial post. So I believe it was a bit of the way in. The last tallies came in, I think, towards the end of the thread, but they were not in the original post.
Oh, this is shenanigans. All right, well, we'll go to the staff section.
Well, if anything, as you're saying, it was a close race. Still, as we know, Enders pulled things off. Again, we wanted to get a chance to sit down and talk to them a bit just about the uh, previous event, a bit about War for November, especially going into this one. I know Godlike always made a joke about thanks again for starting another donation drive. So
No problem.
NP.
They talked like that though, but it was close. It
Good,
was really close.
good event, and it was good to see others come out. There was I'm not sure if he'll make mentions on his YouTube page again, but Dig Dug uh, made sure to do some plugs for this one, and I think he had a small build series that he was speaking about during and in preparation for the event. So if anyone who's out there running streams, if you run your own channel, if you discuss Armored Core, especially if your team is going to be participating in it, hey, feel free to post up some content, talk a little bit about it, and continue to spread the word about it. So.
We've talked about this a little bit. I just want to repeat myself so that the show will be a little bit longer and have some more content. My favorite part I had two favorite parts about War for November. What I'm looking forward to for this next event. That was when I would be on a team and you would get two teams, well-established teams in the community fighting each other. That was always a lot of fun to participate in that. Probably the other thing, though, and it only happened a handful of times, and I think we have more mercs this time, and definitely more mercs that are more active, and that would be coming across a team that had a merc in them as well. Like there was a merc in each team, and that was always a little fun too. There's a little bit of back and forth between a couple of us on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So looking forward to that. That's always kind of fun too, because no matter what, someone's coming out with a point. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and again, if you don't always get out to check out some of the conquest modes, because obviously your maps are limited, within free battle. That is one of the good things about going into a mode like this. You'll get a chance to kind of probably jump into some of the maps you don't always play on, or get a chance to check out. There are some cool ones. Shake's Fist. Many of these should have been available for free battle. It's unfortunate they weren't.
All of them should have been available
Yeah.
for free battle. All of them.
This would have been our biggest compilation of maps, but yeah,
No, they didn't do that because they want us to pay for it. Now, I'm sure From's going to come out with it. If you've looked at all the DLCs for this game now, they'll come out with the option to use all the maps. They'll sell it for $50. But then the other people you take on are going to have it too. So.
And then you'll need a pack that allows you to be compatible with every. List goes on and on. We I think the most current thing you had to that was in Vanilla 5, where you had the like the modelers pack, and if people were using said parts or had the changes, or they got the certain pack, you still had to have the compatibility to be able to see even the worn and used parts, even if you didn't buy the DLC, and that was a large patch in and of itself. So
I had gotten a few more of the DLCs since we last did the show when they first came out. I got all the voices now.
Cool.
Let's see, they came out to one. Oh, what is it? The Reaper Squad. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What a name. I downloaded that one. There's a voice for that. That was pretty good. I downloaded all those. They are what they are. They're a couple bucks. They're fun. There looks like there's a lot of UNAC stuff up there now. You can now get damaged skins for all the parts. A lot of fun stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the March of War.
Plenty. But hey, now that'd be a fun thing. That's the one thing we're missing now that I think about it. I don't think we had it for our exhibition event either. A front page note about the upcoming event. I was so glad to see that back when we had the earlier exhibition. events, and it was a good way as people logged in, they'd be able to see, oh, there's this event happening. Um, Many reasons, why that hasn't been pulled off, or why those things haven't gone through. But that would be great. Ideally, I'd like to see that for each large scale event.
Yeah, it's not going to happen
Yeah.
because Namco doesn't care.
So, alas, will be what it'll be. But like I was saying earlier, if you don't even have to be a YouTube or a user or a streamer to go through a lot of this content. If you want to spread some notes about it, please do. And ultimately, at the end of the day, regardless of who begins the promotions, it's really the community that's going to help push it. So,
You don't have to be an ACL merc. You don't have to. You don't have to even be in an established team.
hmm
Although that's definitely good. If you wanna be a part of this, and this is one of my favorite things about this event. This is why I like this World Mode event. You don't have to be established in anything, but if you want to be a part of it, just go out there and start murking.
yep,
People will pick you up
yep,
to fill their teams. You can participate in this event as much or as little as you want.
simple enough. And the cool thing about that is I think that sometimes within Murking there becomes this expectation where, run a bit, maybe run a few missions people need help with, and that's it. Hoping it's going to be a real pleasant surprise if people see a lot of activity going down, we have teams being active and getting picked up for these missions. And, the various like conquest sorties. That should encourage people to hopefully get back in, remerc, re-sign up, hopefully, to put yourself on that list to fill out another team if possible, and just keep rolling from there until you
Yeah,
get tired.
you know, things really dropped off after War for November,
Yeah.
as far as activity. And how much of that is because of the time of year? How much was that because the event was going on and then obviously it was over? It'll be interesting to see how much things pick up.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're about on par with as many teams signed up for War for November as we are with this one, just before it started. So, it'll be really interesting. Either way, it's going to kick up activity a bit, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, as far as where we sit in terms of activity and what people are, pursuing, it's interesting because if you think about it, Verdict Day isn't really an old dinosaur at all. In the grand scheme, this game coming out last year, arguably, late fall, it hasn't even had a full year. There's been not even been a lifespan like that, so there's still plenty of room for it. But I think events like this are really good gauges of where the community stands on it, and if they're willing not just to get active, but kind of, continue, I think, a little decent pace afterward, and to get fired up that, hey, yes, this does exist. Yes, there are these teams that are out there and they are willing to play. So, if anything, we look for these, I think, not just to be one-offs, but hopefully catalyst, right, that help spark more. So,
Hmm.
so time will tell, and we'll see. But all month this time I don't have a broken PS3. Very excited about that. I can start off. I got actually picked up a new monitor or new TV display myself,
Ooh.
so everything should be nice and square and in shape for this. And yeah, it's just geared for it. It's funny. If PS4 were as backwards compatible as the PS3 were when it came out, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, shoot, I'd consider playing this on a 4, but I'm not picking up a 4 until other things I'm interested in picking up come out. There's AC right now. There's other fighting games I'm interested in that are still going to come out on PS3. I think it still has plenty of life in it, and yeah, until we hear about AC6, obviously that'll be the next focus. But
It has plenty of life in it as my DVD player. I'll have a PS4 here. I'd say definitely if I don't have one by the middle of summer, I would be shocked.
fair enough, fair enough. There were always those little tweaks, little toolbox things you could do. I don't know if you ever looked at did you ever modify your PS2? I know you cleaned PS2 here and there when they
I
like break
always
down.
toyed with it, but no, I didn't. Despite the fact that I was under the hood of my PS2 as much as I was playing it. For those of you who
hmm
don't know, that was one of my specialities. In fact, at ACMM4, we had a PS2 breakdown right there in the spot, and I fixed it right then and there. Of course, with his permission, letting him know full well that letting Tierson tinker in the insides of his PS2 may make it irreparably damaged. He took the chance with it. But I had fixed. In fact, for a while there, I was buying them off of eBay and broken and fixing them. So I had a few of them at one point.
There you go.
But no, I never modded them. I looked into it, but I think by the time I was interested in that, and I think it was primarily for Armored Core, Um, I was just kind of like, no, that's
Yeah,
all right.
I was a user of well, besides after I got the network adapter, I started to become interested in what features you could really mess with, and I didn't want to get the whole thing with the soldering irons and changing out to mess with my board so I could play imports. I ran Swap Magic and slide cards, and that was really cool for playing imports. Allowed me to play LR and all the other previous Japanese versions of AC games. Sometimes ahead of time, which is great. It was really fun for X-Link Kai play as well. Um, Looking at what PS3 did with that, though, there aren't the same options. Well, because PS3 had a whole different agenda for backwards compatibility and playing, import games anyway. And the region lock thing idea becoming a lot freer as a PS3 era, right? But there still are some tweaks out there. If there's anybody that's going to be a rebel hanging the fringes on PS3 a long time, you might want to consider checking out a HDD slash solid state drive hybrid. Um, or a pure solid state drive if you want. Now those are probably a little more expensive. You'll probably get the hybrid cheaper, but you can really kick up your storage space well. There's like a terabyte out there, and you'll get like better load times as well. For depends where you get it, maybe 90 to $100 or so, or less, depending where you get the deal. But yeah, there's plenty of little tweaks and things like that out there, and I think that's cool. PlayStation's done a good job with that in the past. So. But
There you go.
hopefully, yeah, but hopefully none of you are having load issues. There's
I
some
am.
games in your head, right?
Oh,
Just messing.
yes, but
Couldn't
no, no,
resist.
mine's a little slow. It's a little slow. It's not that bad
Yeah.
though.
It's worth checking out. I've there's some frame rate tests of these if you're ever interested in looking on YouTube pages for how fast they run or how they actually do improve your load specs. One place I've heard these come in real handy for those of you that have played FF14 or some of the new current games like that. There's like when you have a lot of different states or actions happening at once, or there's certain things that are hard to load. Yeah, this is a small little fix that can really push you through, and you're not cracking your whole PS3. It's simply swapping drives, swapping it out of the case, and done deal.
Well, yeah, they basically built the thing to be able to do that.
Yep, which is real fun. So, and I hope they kind of maintain those designs. Although it's really funny. I feel Sony and Microsoft kind of split spots. Sony came into PS3 with this concept of being, not just for gaming, but this media center, and we've had a little bit of a reversal. You still have multimedia features, but PS4 and large, said, hey, Sony are like, we're focused on games, and Xbox says we want to be the all-in-one. We want to be the media console and be able to see you sitting on your couch and everything else.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, they've kind of swapped, but it's funny. The one thing I do hope for anybody, especially if you're picking up a PS4, is that they get some of the features patched for media playback, such as MP3, MP4, heck, even like CD usage, little things like that. Hopefully, some of those features can be changed at a later update. Some won't. That's fine. I'll accept it. Use your cloud or whatever you have to, but who knows? Lol.
That even still going.
Yeah, I mean it's a thing. Like I can't say it's always one hub because you have a number of companies that are making their own services, for digital storage like that. But yeah, I mean, if you look at, I suppose you could call PlayStation Plus a slight version of that, not the full deal, but
Yeah, no, that's not the same thing.
it's not.
They're not forcing you to do that.
Right, right. It's optional if you want to make your save files or other information, available via the server.
You know what
But
cloud reminds me of now?
hmm,
Laserdisc.
that's a good comparison.
It was a form of media. It was a form of things to use with your media that just a lot of people just didn't want to invest in for one reason or another, and it's just stuck around forever, and it should have just died right away.
Hey,
Look it up, kids, if you don't know what I'm talking about. There was something before DVDs. It was Laserdisc, and it
yep.
was pointless. Just like Cloud.
So
If I'm not being clear about that, let me be perfectly clear. Fuck Cloud.
simple enough. And not Cloud Strife. He's all right with that
No,
Cloud.
fuck him too.
All right, him too. Even though
He
you
was
were.
no, he was weird, man. Yeah, it was fucking. I mean, seriously, I can't be the only person that had a bit of a disconnect with Final Fantasy VII when he found out, oh, um, he's kind of he kind of thinks he's somebody he's not, and he took this to an unhealthy level, and it's really weird.
Yeah. I give FF7 award for probably one of the weakest protagonists of all times.
And then don't get me wrong, it's my favorite. It's my favorite Final
Sure.
Fantasy. In fact, it rose the bar was raised so high with that one that, with the exception of Final Fantasy IX, every other Final Fantasy after it has been and is complete shit. Seven goes down in the history books as one of the best video games ever.
And a large part of his success is due to the soil. I know we wandered a long way through the rabbit trail here, but I promise we have a connection. I think about the soil that was available for gaming when FF7 came out, and we kind of look around today as we look at Armored Core and the stuff that's riding on it. Obviously, fans are going to look forward to AC6, right? I mean, to hear about the next one's going to come out, but with AC4 and a lot of the other advents, it kind of killed a lot of the buzz that a lot of the longtime fans waited for AC about. Whereas, you look back at FF and it was a classic example of great history and then great further execution. It changed platforms. It left Nintendo for the first time. It went from cartridge to disc. You had FMVs being introduced. You had so many features that were a first. I think not just for RPGs, but for gaming. It was the right time to release it, and I think that states a lot for games. I think a lot of companies get in this line of, well, that was successful because it did this. Let's make our carbon copy. Like, no.
Oh my God, so many carbon copies of that fucking game.
Yeah, that's the issue. There are so many external factors that affect the success of a release, and I don't think that's always viewed these days. So hey, yeah, hopefully as we're waiting to hear about AC6, could be late, could be early. From take some of these things into mind, at least please some. Check out things that have worked, things that have failed, where the current community's sitting, not just the JP community, and hey, go from there. It will be what it will be.
You know what? I'm going to say this.
Hmm.
They need to ignore the Japanese community this time around.
Tall order.
I'm serious. I think if they stop going to that well, just for the sake of trying another one, I think they will find huge success. And that does that maybe even sound a little biased from me? It probably sounds that way, but it's not. I mean, there's a direct correlation to how to from listening to their Japanese base and the games that have come out, and those games being really bad.
So
That's a fact. That's a fact, people.
So, we've had the surveys and everything available. We've had, again, members from our own community who have striven rather to, or tried to translate and get things to a point where people who want to participate in this can, in some way, and that can be, sent in and counted that, we will have some kind of voice in that, but target audience, and who's in mind, and the way that our community, at least the international community, in majority compared to the JP community, it's a different set, and it's maybe it's just because of AC taking a more online nature, a more broadly online nature now that I think we've been able to see more of it. The early support for JP bases and online, it's not anything new. It's been there forever since AC2, and you want to keep tracking back. Hey, there you go. But one can hope. One can hope. And it's kind of uncertain at this point, a little blurry how soon we'll hear about it. So.
Oh yeah. No, well, I'm still pretty sure we're gonna hear it from the what is it, the Tokyo show or whatever it's called.
TGS would be a cool time.
Tokyo. It is Tokyo Game Show, isn't it? Yeah, in September, I think it is.
TGS would be really cool. That would be, I think, a record for speed after an AC release, announcing another large-scale project, saying that they've had that lined up indeed.
Yeah, but they're gonna want to do that because they don't want to wait too long. Otherwise, they'll lose a lot of the fans. A lot of the current fans forever, like they've already lost some of the others.
Yeah. Sad but true. So, well, on that note, we are looking forward to this weekend.
Yes. I'm going to blow up many of them. And if I don't do it, I'm going to hide behind team members and watch them.
Bring your teams. Wait, because of what? Because of what? Because of what?
What?
Oh no, you threatened to blow up people, and then I thought you were about to make another insinuation off that.
Oh,
but...
well, no, because my main AC is a lightweight.
So,
yeah. Though my other main AC is a tank, so maybe I'll do it myself.
So bring
What about you, Zealous? What are you gonna do during the March of War?
I intend to have a Coke, man. I'm gonna be out on the lawn. You know,
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
smoke
be
some coke.
yeah, I'm gonna be just enjoying. Not that Coke. I'm gonna have a Coca-Cola, man. You can have all that.
Coca-Cola. You're gonna have a Coca. You're
I-
just gonna
I'm gonna have
honestly
my
just gonna
Coke. I'm gonna have my Coke. I'm gonna be out in the lawn chair, and yeah, I'll set that up in whatever base I need, and we'll go from there. If you need some hacking done, anything, just holler. I'll be sure to have the head unit available from that, and we're just gonna chill. No, in all seriousness, though, this will be fun. Unlike I think in the exhibitions where we get to run a lot of our just fun designs that we just enjoy, just imploring and things. This is a time to go ahead and utilize your staples, your designs, and be behind as much things as possible. The one thing I will not do, I will not be utilizing melee. I can't see myself blading or piling. But
That's
I
good because I can't see you doing it either.
but I am looking to make some pretty solid punches in the face. So this will be fun, and it'll be nice to be in on this from the start this time without having a broken system. So
Well, you got in like what 2 times, like for more fun.
oh, it was more than that. I got it.
No, you're right. It was 3.
Yeah. See, you gotta bust me out like that. It was like I think the last
No,
week
yeah,
and
I
a
think it
half.
was like the last
Last
7
week.
days, 7 or 8
Yeah,
days.
yeah, it was off. So we'll see. But anyway, hey, we're looking forward to it. Those of you who have your teams getting ready to participate, gear up this weekend. Starting should be a lot of fun. Keep the momentum going, and be sure to spread the word and have fun.
Yeah. Get your friends, get them back into it. Say, hey, there's an event going on for this month. It's gonna be fun. We're saying fun a lot. Let's try some other trigger words. Exciting. Um, monumental. Let's see. What are other trigger words? Explosive.
Explosive, yeah, you took that. I'm letting you roll here. You're like the car salesman. So
15% on.
there you go.
Uh, no, but yeah, no. Let them know that there's an event going on this month. It's gonna be fun to participate in. Bring your old teammates back.
Yeah.
Bring them in. Get them going. Win some points. Maybe they'll play the game again. Maybe they haven't played since the new patch, and they'll play and they'll like the patch. And maybe they'll just have fun kicking me around for a little while. So.
So, in any case, thank you all for tuning in. Remember, be sure just to shoot us a line if you have questions, comments, concerns, cookie recipes, anything else. Email us at ravensvoiceacl@gmail.com. You can also check out armoredcorelegacy.com and check out the relevant discussion thread if you want to talk about this podcast or the others that we've done in the past. Last week we had a discussion about cores. Bound to see other discussions down the line too about other frame parts, but there's plenty of content there. Anything you want to check out. So till then, thank you. We will catch you next week during the March of War, same time, same place. Signing out.
Adios.